What a 24 hours it has been. And who can keep up right now with what's going on in this transfer window? It's absolutely crazy right now. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to Transfer Talk as we are going to go through all of these transfers and get our heads around them. Welcome to FFTV. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're having a wonderful evening and welcome to your end of the weekend here. As we got with us, Forest, and out of all people, how are you, buddy?
All right. I've just woken up. I've had a little sleep because I've not had much lately with all the activity going off.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit tired, but I'll try and get there.
You'll soldier on. You soldier on.
Soldier
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, hold on, let me get, we got Ez in the background as well. I'll grab him in. And just while I'm doing that, talk to the guys about Shelvey. We'll start with Shelvey. We'll say the hellos in a second to everyone. But let me just sort Ez out. And what are you saying to this bloody Shelvey thing, man?
I actually, as a footballer, I really like John J. Shelvey. I think he's got a lot about him. He's tough tackling. He can spray a ball beautifully. He's got a shot on him. However, his injury record is absolutely shocking, and we really can't afford to be having any more players that we can't rely on due to the injuries we've already got. So for me, it's probably a no.
Straight up no, yeah?
Yeah, only purely because of his injury record. I think he is a good player, but we can't afford to have any more injured players, can we?
That is the problem with me, mate, because he's only played 2 games so far this season for Newcastle. And he's been out.
Last season the same. He wasn't.
It's been the last few, hasn't it? And it's just a little bit for me worrying about it. I don't know. I'm just gonna get Esmundo in. Just give me 2 secs. Can you bring up some of the chat comments, and while I just sort this out, and we'll say hi to them.
Hello to Andy, Viking, Heart of Forest, Simon. Shelvey, a good signing. We need midfield with you. Yeah, I agree with you, Simon. He says
He's
a good player.
I'm in.
He's in.
But just to reiterate, I'm just concerned about his injury record, which is shocking, and we already have a lot of injured players, so it's too much of a risk for me.
But it's not even that, right? Is he? Do we need him? Do we need him? Because my worry is, as I mentioned on the video just a bit earlier, right, is there something going on with Ryan Yates that we don't know about? That's the thing that's concerning me, because, like, suddenly we're focusing on central midfielders. There's been a link with him. There's been a link with Gabriel. There's been the Inter Milan guy, the Gagliardi guy.
Yeah,
Gardino.
That one, yeah. All in these positions where I think as a fan base, we would say that we're actually the strongest currently in our midfield department. And it's the strikers and the defenders that are the issue. And it just makes me think, are we panic buying?
Can I just put a word of caution in there? There's a hell of a lot of rumours about. We mustn't believe all of them.
I know.
There are agents out there, clubs out there that are trying to link us in the hope of drumming up a bit of interest. And my normal thing with transfers is I don't even read about them. I don't read about myself. I do now because I've got an interest.
Well, now we've got the high press, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a professional interest in it now. So, but previous to that, I used to look on like the Evening Post website, and if it said rumoured to be linked with, I just didn't even think about it because they get so many, and Shelvey could just be another one of those.
Yeah.
We're being linked with a lot of people, aren't we? We're not going to get them all, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, Ez, what are your thoughts on Shelvey? I don't like it. I'm going to be straight with you guys. We're always straight talking here. I just don't like it, man. He's just too injury prone.
Injury prone. Don't really think he's quite at Premier League level. I remember him when he was at Charlton as a youngster, and he really stood out because he's big, and he was big at that age as well. When he was 17, 18, I think he broke into the Charlton team, and I remember seeing him then and thinking, you know, he was a good player. He never really did well against us when he was playing for Newcastle. I remember him getting sent off at the City ground a few years
Is that
ago.
right? I mentioned it in the video. I just seem to have this recollection
Yeah.
of a red. What
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it? Because was it that game where Dexter? Was it when Dexter Blackstock was scoring? Or am I going too far back?
I can't remember. No, it was the game when Henry Lansbury, he missed a penalty, then he scored. I think we had like 3 penalties in that game and he missed 2 of them, scored 1. It was that game. Can you remember it?
Yeah,
Ringing a bell now. Yeah, and he got himself sent off pretty early on. I think he conceded a free kick on the edge of a box, which was it a penalty? I can't remember. But anyway, Henry Lansbury was important in that game, but I think we won it. I think we won like 3-2 or something like that. But yeah, he's never really, for me, certainly at Premier League level, I don't think he cuts it. He's a good Championship player, a solid Championship player, but is he what we need? I don't think so. He's on a he's 30, isn't he? So he's not.
Yeah.
You know, he's not on the right side of that. Doesn't really fill me with too much confidence, or doesn't really excite me. 2 days to go of the transfer window, and like Ant said, we're going to be linked with players left, right, and centre. You know, and a majority of them aren't going to come off. This is one I hope doesn't come off. But then, who are we to say? You know, I mean, most of our signings this season, the majority have been right. There's obviously been a few that we've looked back on now, and in hindsight, we can say probably wasn't the right signing or hasn't really worked out. And you can see that with some of the outgoings that we're rumoured with as well, or that are almost pretty much in place. So all of it is a case of getting the right players in, and we are going to be linked with loads of players left, right, and centre. He's one I kind of hope doesn't go through. He doesn't, like I say, he doesn't really inspire me and doesn't really fill me with too much confidence.
I want to get the chat's opinion on this Shelvey one. I mean, he's also an ugly motherfucker. He doesn't do it for me. Guys in the chat, what are you saying on Joe John show? I can't even get his name out. I want to bring up some of these comments on here. Let's have a quick run through what the guys are saying. And in fact, Ant, can you just run through the comments while we've got breaking news? We have Joe John Shelvey in the backstage, and I'm just going to bring him on.
Is he here? Is he
Get
here?
him on.
No, I'm not. Sorry, no, I'm not.
No, he's refusing. He's a prima donna. He's refusing to come on.
Oh, really? Unless the City Ground lights are on, he's not interested, is there? Okay. We'll leave him in the back.
I can see a red light on. I can't see the city lights on.
But what Brett's saying here is what's interesting to me. Worried about Yatesy, especially with all of these heart problems with athletes. There has been some rumours going on about Yatesy today and his heart. Now, I'm not taking anything on it, especially when you're talking about someone's actual health and fitness. I don't think it's right for us to comment on it. Firstly, all I want to say on that is that if there's any truth in it, obviously we have nothing but love for him when he's fit. When he's injured, it doesn't matter. Health has to come first in this scenario. But if you take it as a general statement that it seems that potentially his injury, and let's just talk about it as an injury, may be longer than what was suggested. That, you know, Cooper was saying it after his interview, after the game, that he could have carried on X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the other. I'm not sure I'm buying it right now, but it does seem that maybe that is strengthening. And the reason I'm asking about that is because if that's the case, why are we getting rid of O'Brien to West Brom? Because that's looking more and more likely. And you've been a fan of O'Brien. Go on,
I think that's what baffles me the most out of all of this. Why are we getting rid of O'Brien when we've got a hole there that needs filling, and we're looking at other players? Has he really fallen that out of favour with Coops? I don't know. Something's obviously gone on. We speculated, didn't we, that there's something not right about the whole situation. We spoke about this a few weeks ago, you and I, Wolverine, and they said because he had the injury, then he had an illness, and it just seemed to be longer and longer.
It goes back, mate. It goes back to the Leicester game.
Goes back to the Bournemouth game even at home, you know, when he brings on Colback instead of O'Brien.
Yeah, but that was because of the Leicester game. Because I'm starting to believe these rumours that, do you remember at half time where they had that kicking off, him, as Morgan Gibbs-White,
Absolutely,
Cook, and a couple of others. Then apparently there's been a fallout behind the scenes with Yates, with Morgan Gibbs-White, and then it looks like Cooper sided with him or couldn't make the peace or whatever. And it just feels ever since then, like you just mentioned, Colback came on after O'Brien.
I was going back to the Bournemouth game at home when we lost 3-2 when he brought on Colback instead of O'Brien. So there's been times when he's not been favoured because he was...
Wait, which was first, the Leicester or the Bournemouth game? I can't remember now.
I'm going back right to us before
Bournemouth
World
was
Cup
before.
break.
Bournemouth was before, okay.
World Cup break before that, and if you remember, me and Ant were looking at us thinking, why the hell is he bringing... Is he bringing Colback in? Wrong ginger. He's bringing.
Yeah, we were up in arms, weren't we, about it at the time?
I'm like, what the hell is that all about? So even going back to then, it seems to. I mean, at first half a dozen games, we kind of thought he was a shoo-in.
Yeah.
And almost like the player that took to the Premier League most naturally from the Championship, and to go from that to now being potentially loaned out. Something's happened behind the scenes. Yeah. It's more to. It has to be. There has to be. And we can speculate, and it'll be maybe we'll be going down like the wrong paths and stuff like that. But there's definitely something in it. It has to be.
And what do you think about this O'Brien thing? Guys in the chat, get your comments in. I want tonight to be about us and you guys. We're gonna have a nice little chat, flesh everything out because there's so many rumors. I want to know by the end of this stream who you like, who you don't like. Where are we going with everything? So, and on O'Brien, give us your thoughts, bud.
I certainly agree with Ez. When he first started playing, I was absolutely flabbergasted just how good he was in the Premier League. He looked the part straight away, and I was excited by him. I think I was saying at the time, probably, he's the best signing so far.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yep.
Now, I don't normally, as I said about the transfer speculation to a degree, I don't normally get involved with speculation on Twitter. It's a fucking cesspit. I don't get on with the speculation. People out there can put down whatever like theory or opinion or whatever they've got, and everybody can jump on it. However, on this occasion, with the amount of ability that O'Brien has got, that we know he's got, I can't help but think there's definitely something non-football related.
Yeah, because you touched on it. Is it his ability's not at question?
No, it's not.
Maybe at times he's not been really at the races when he's been at a game. Certainly, I would say Blackpool away springs to mind. It was an awful performance from him.
That was his worst, yeah.
Yeah, but that was probably his first start in maybe.
And that doesn't reflect his general ability, does it?
No.
That was, he's been out of the team. He's come on. We were playing really badly. He's perhaps not happy because of the personal side of things. So I wouldn't put that against him in that respect, saying that, he's perhaps not as good. I think he is that good. And I think it'd be a real shame. And I wouldn't swap him for any of the midfielders that we're linked with, So as you quite rightly said, why would we be shipping him out to bring in Shelvey, for example? That doesn't make sense unless it's a non-football related matter. And if it's a non-football related matter, I really fear for him having a future at Forest, because if you're sending a guy away because of what you perceive as his attitude or because of whatever reason, the chances of having him back are very, very slim. That doesn't normally resolve itself.
But he's played a few games, Ant. He's played a few games, hasn't he? Like there's a Blackpool one. He came on in the last match as well for 20 minutes.
It's really out of necessity, isn't it? Because like Ed says, he'll bring Colback on before him. He'll bring other players on. He'll leave him out of the squad.
Yeah. We were talking about the pecking order a few weeks ago, weren't we? And where he was in the midfield pecking order, and he was probably
and he should be right up at the top, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
And it certainly isn't. So he's played him out maybe out of necessity, but that's all.
Yeah, I mean Richard's spot on. We don't know what's happening in the club with the players and stuff, but we do get some messages, guys, about what does happen. And with this O'Brien stuff, it's clear. Even if you know or you don't know, you can tell by the reactions that's happening.
Yeah, something like this. You're right. He's absolutely right. And I often say this: we don't know what's happening within the club, but something like this, you can look at it from the outside and you can speculate. You can put 2 and 2 together, and maybe you do get 4.
Yeah, but I mean, people should be allowed to talk if they want to. I mean, as long as we're not prying into anyone's private lives or making up rumours or anything.
Yeah.
Like the Mitzi thing.
I don't think we're repeating any rumours that we've
No.
heard, and we've heard quite a lot, haven't we? And
Yeah.
like Wolverine says, we do get messages from people who claim to know a bit more than the rest of us, and we've never gone any further with that. We've never come to you guys and said, we've heard this and we've heard that. It's for what it's. There's speculation. There's always going to be speculation, but the fact of the matter is that there's certain things that are adding up. Because, like we said, it's not. We don't think it's a problem with his ability. So it's seems like it's something behind the scenes.
And this
with
is
his
a
attitude.
transfer show. This is a transfer show, and everything at the moment is pretty much speculation.
Absolutely.
Because nothing's been written down on a contract yet. So,
Absolutely.
no matter how firm that speculation may be, at the end of the day, until they sign it on the dotted line, it is speculation. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few interesting comments I want to bring. We got A12B. He's saying shopping on O'Brien. I think he might mean swapping O'Brien for Shelvey is unbelievable. Is there any more graveyard we can rob? Will be known as the Frankenstein team taking dead meat. And I tend, that's kind of what's pissed me off about this. And it's only shopping from Newcastle. We're turning into a Newcastle retirement home. And Walking Boom saying for him, as for JJ, it's a no from me. Would rather have another centre back. Fully agree. What's interesting is Russell's comment here. I want to get your guys' take on it. The Tuffalo Lewis O'Brien signing seemed to take an age at the time, and then something seems to have gone in, and now both are going out the door. It never felt right. Now, and I want to bring this to you because you're more mature in the years than me and Ez. A little bit. How do you feel about this Anderlecht move? And should Forest be doing any business with that scum?
No.
History, isn't it? There's history.
Be anywhere fucking near that bunch of cheating Belgian bastards.
Any other club?
We should not give them fucking anything. We shouldn't give them the fucking ear around the city ground. Yeah. They should be fucking gone, dead to us. We should have nothing to do with that club.
Agreed.
And I'm ashamed that our beautiful, beautiful owner has fucking lowered our club to fucking trade with them cheating bastards.
Yeah.
Guys in the chat, do you agree with Ant or not on this? Because
guys in the chat, do you know what Ant's referring to? Let us know if you know what he's referring to, because some probably don't have a clue what.
Yeah, and do you want to talk through the younger viewers? Or
yeah, I think it was 1995. Well, yeah, UEFA Cup.
84. It was revealed.
Sorry, 85. When you're my age, decades all meld into one. We played against Anderlecht. We beat them 2-0 at the City Ground.
Yeah.
And basically, the away leg, we had a goal disallowed that shouldn't be disallowed. We had an absolute stonewall penalty that should have been. And we thought the referee looked a bit dodgy. And then a couple of years later, the referee came out and said he was indeed paid by Anderlecht to cheat.
Yeah, in 90. I want to say that was in 92 or 95 off the top of my head. Yeah.
Yeah, when the story broke, yeah. I think
that's official. There's no denying. Anderlecht have agreed to pay compensation. They paid us compensation. Yeah. This is not speculation. This is fact. And when he died, he left a letter. He got killed in a car crash. The referee did. And when he died, he left in a letter all the details of his dealings with Anderlecht and the money he was getting off them to throw that match. And they admitted it and paid a fine.
Yeah.
But you know what? None of the players involved got a penny out of that, and they were denied a chance to, because we would have won. I think was it a semi-final?
Semi-finals,
yeah.
We would have played Spurs in the final.
Yeah,
and we used to, in those days we used to always beat Spurs.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a thought in your mind. Yeah. So to my mind, they robbed us of a UEFA Cup to add to our glorious history, and I will never ever forget that.
Yeah. And there was a chairman who did it all, and the stadium's still named after him. That's because
seriously.
Yeah, but it expired the statute of limitations, so they
Yeah.
couldn't go back on him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't remember who it was. Said they sent a letter to the head of the FA at the time and said, "Can't you intervene for us and at least change your records, you know, and take that asterisk off our name?" But yeah, they couldn't do that. They weren't willing to do that. But yeah, it's something that is.
It's shocking. It's truly shocking. I mean,
Well, here's something that's going to wind you up more, Ant. Sorry.
Hang on a second. You imagine in this day and age, like,
Yeah.
Like, look at Juventus to get points taken off them through financial
Yeah.
irregularities. That you imagine if a team now was found to have cheated in a semi-final of cup.
Paid off a ref, basically. Paid off a ref and all his linesmen as well. So it wasn't just a ref; it paid off a whole official team. And Brian Clough, being the man he was, he knew something was fishy at the time.
I tell you, if anybody's watched that match, you can see it.
Yeah,
I mean, it was blatant.
Yeah.
Blatant.
and apparently so our dressing room was right opposite the referee's dressing room, and he said he clearly saw officials from Anderlecht going in and out of there. So yeah, they knew something was fishy, and then like I say. But like Ant said, we should never, ever. Maybe Marinakis doesn't know, but somebody in the club must have told
Just
him.
wait. This is going to wind up Ant more.
Oh, go on.
And according to Colin, Spurs won the final.
Yeah, they did. They did.
So
That's what I'm saying. That is our cup. That is our cup.
So Spurs is probably last European success.
Probably.
Oh yeah,
Was because we
last
got
European,
cheated out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were so superior to Spurs in those days, and in that particular season. For us, it was game over. You know, we'd won it.
Another reason to love Spurs, say.
And for that, and you kept looking at it and think, and even before it all came out officially that they cheated, you're looking at it and you were saying, that's cheating. You can see. What people go and watch. If you get the chance,
if you haven't seen it,
watch it.
Watch
Honestly.
the goal we scored at full time and he blows his whistle before it's hit the back of the net.
Yeah.
And there's
Even
nothing wrong
with the cheating, we still would have won the game. I think
Yeah.
3-2 we would have won it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Paul Hart was the one who scored that goal, I think, wasn't
it was,
it? Yeah, and he tells the story, and it's still bitter.
All right.
to
Well,
it. And I
what
don't
Colin's
blame him.
saying, he agrees with Ant and his verbal abuse.
Yeah, so we
what
shouldn't be
else we
doing
got
any
here?
business with them. Agreed.
James saying Cloughie knew the ref had been paid off. The most angry I'd ever seen him. I mean, that's got to go some. Muhammad, it's good to see you. He's saying I've just caught up with the latest transfer news. In my opinion, Felipe is going to be a solid signing. Imagine him and Niakate at the back, and Shelvey and Danilo in the front two of the back four. Let's jump back to the transfer news. Because this is quite interesting, what Muhammad's just said there about Shelvey. And I've been thinking about this since I released the video at 8 o'clock. Is he potentially in to replace Freuler? Are they running out with patience maybe on Freuler? Or do you think that's not quite where it is? Do you think that's something?
No, I don't think it's that. I think because Freuler, we agree, hasn't been played in his best position so far this season. He's done a job because he's needed to do a job, and he's been the most disciplined in that role. He hasn't been one of the players that stands out, and we said he's almost goes through games, but he does a role. I'm hoping now that he'll get a slightly more freer role. I mean, Cooper alluded to it himself after that. Was it after the Leicester game? Which game? It was after the Leicester game, and said that now Danilo's in. He's
Sorry, it's the Bournemouth game.
game. Bournemouth game. Sorry, that's when Danilo came on. Yeah, he says so with Danilo in the team now, or in the squad, he's hoping to see Freuler slightly further forward. So he's kind of alluded to doing that. So it'd be strange to see him out. I think we haven't seen the best of him, and I still think he's a quality player. We just haven't played him in the best position, and that hasn't shown the best of his abilities. So it'd be a bit short-sighted to get rid of him now without really playing him in that position.
Well, if that's the case, Anne, who's Shelvey? And again, we're speculating that he's coming. Who's he replacing? I don't know. I'm so confused on this one. Guys in the chat, who would Shelvey, assume he comes in? Just let me know whose position you think is under threat. Not necessarily replacing, but who do you think it would be? Go on, Anne.
I've had to get my fingers out so I could count how many actual centre midfielders we've got. We've only got 4. Yeah?
No, we got more than
No,
that.
we've got more than 4.
That's what I thought, but then I ran out after.
Are you including the ones who were injured? Or you?
I'm including Mangala. I'm not including O'Brien.
Okay.
It looks like it says. So I'm including Mangala, Danilo, Yates, and Freuler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check
What about
Kyoto.
Kyoto.
Yeah, but he's out. He's out.
That's what I was asking if you're including that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
You are out of the club. We don't know how long Kyoto's out for, but it's one.
What
of those.
about your boy Colback?
Yeah, you can't miss him.
Okay, I'll include Jack. I'll include Jack. But the thing is, if you look at Jack as a peripheral player, yeah, not a first. He's not a
Ooh,
first
I like
teamer, is
that
he?
word. That's very. That's nice.
It's
Nice
not.
for
It's not. It's
watershed.
not. It's not what you'd call a first teamer. So you've got Danilo, Freuler.
Wait, before you go into that, I've just had a look at the likes, and we're like at 160 odd people in here, guys. Before we let the I've messed my camera up by doing that. Before we unleash Ant here, quickly just hit the like button if you're enjoying. What have I done to my camera? While I fix that, I'm gonna unleash Ant. Go on, Ant. You've got to 5 now.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. But Colback, as I say, is not a first teamer. He's a peripheral player. So I'd say we've got 4 first teamers. If Yatesy is, and let's pray that those rumours are just ridiculous. We have no reason to believe those whatsoever. None. It's pure speculation. But let's just assume he's going to be out for a little while. Then you're down to 3, aren't you? And you've got no backup. So maybe we are, if you look at it like that, maybe we are actually short of a central midfielder.
Don't forget, though, we've still got Gabriel. Oh, he's more attacking. But you could put Scarpa in there.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that, do you? Do you really want to do that?
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But if you're going to fit him in and you're going to have Morgan Gibbs-White and then maybe Gabriel coming in, Jono, and then obviously don't forget you still got to play Wood on the left-hand side as well. You know, we're going to struggle to find spaces for Scarpa in the team. So that's my worry about it.
No, we won't. No, we won't. He's an attacking midfield, stroke right-sided midfielder. He's not going to be playing in that central midfield. I hope. Anyway.
Yeah, we hope, but we don't know. I think if he wants to switch...
If we look at it from that point of view, where Cooper wants to keep Scarpa where Scarpa should be, then we're down to 3 fit midfielders plus Jack Colback. And that's not really enough, is it? I'm just trying to say, maybe that's why.
But this is a really good point from N2. He says, feels like we're just padding up the squad again and not signing for the actual competition. I.e., I think what he's alluding to there is, why are we not bringing in players who should be
because
challenging for the first team?
Because it's hard to find players, particularly in January. It's hard to find players with a quality to replace either Mangala, Freuler, Danilo. It's hard to find somebody who's going to come in and challenge those. You're talking top quality midfielders, in my opinion. So you can only bring in backup. Not many clubs can afford to bring in 2 players of equal stature for each position. Yeah. And if you do, you're going to piss one of them off anyway. And they're not going to be. They might put up with that at Man City and Arsenal. Less likely at Forest.
But Poe saying here, Shelvey ain't played a single game this entire season. He's injured and worse than Cafu. I think he's played 2 games, to be fair to him. I mean, but yeah, you might as well call it nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
isn't this a risk? Sorry, Andy.
Sorry, mate. I shouldn't have interrupted. I just want to say, let's bear in mind not spend too long on this because it is only speculation. There's no.
This Shelvey one's a lot stronger than you think.
Yeah,
but he ain't here, is he? So
but it's called the transfer. But look, at the end of the day,
we could go down the line.
Let me just clear that up. Let me just clear that up, right? Let's just call this the gossip hour or something, right? Because I want to know what the fans are thinking to the players that are linked. We're going to work on the assumption that everything is happening and true and everything like that. Yeah. We're just going to decide and talk and flesh out who should come in and who shouldn't, right? So we're not saying any of these are coming in. You're right, yeah? But what we are saying is let's just flesh it out, run the play and see where it takes us.
Sorry. But no, I 100% agree. Of course, it's a transfer show. And you do deal with it, but I was just saying we're spending a long time on this one guy. Is all I was saying.
Oh, we got loads more to talk about. Go on, Ez, just pick up on that point that Poe made. He hasn't played. Is that a concern? Is that something that we should be targeting in this window?
Yeah, that really is a concern. Why are we bringing in a player or looking to bring in a player that hasn't had much game time this season? That is clearly surplus to requirements. At St James's Park, is that a player that we should be going for? I don't believe that we're at their level yet. I think they're going to be one of the for the top 4, top 5 teams in the next few years. But do we want their cast-offs? And like you kind of alluded to, we turned into a Toonami retirement home. I don't know. I go back to it. Doesn't fill me with confidence, and I don't think he's the kind of player that we need to be bringing in. But I just wanted to touch on a point that Mohammed made about maybe Cooper's looking to go 4-2-3-1, and he's looking for two in that midfield position. And I think I'd agree with that. I think that is where he's looking to go, because touching on the Scarpa situation, if you then decide to drop to a 3 in midfield, he can slot into there. But I'd rather see him further up the field. So I'd like to see either 2. And I would say, I think I was asked a question on our last show, and I would actually like to see Danilo and Mangala together in that too. And see how them work off each other. And then you can play more attacking players slightly further. And then play a number 9, because we've got some of the best creative midfielders I think in the Premier League, certainly for our level. Let's talk about, there are different levels at this league, no doubt about it, and we're probably in the middle tier right now, and I'm more than happy with that. But at our level at the Premier League right now, I think we've got the best 3 midfield. If we're talking about Scarpa, Jono, and MG Dub, tell me 3 more that are as competitive and as attacking and full of tricks and skill as them 3. So I say when you got
Martinelli, Saka, and Odegaard.
No, I said at our level.
I consider them our level.
One day. But if you've got players like that, you need somebody that they're aiming for. You need a number 9. So
yeah,
I do agree with that. I think that's what Cooper's probably, and I touched on it a few weeks ago. I said he will eventually go to that when he's got the right players. Once Niakate's back, you've got that. You got a more solid defense, in my opinion, and then whoever you pair with Niakate, he'll make them better. He'll make them look better. So I mean, some of the other players that we've been linked with, I would love to see that. Felipe with Niakate, give it me all day, mate.
It'll be interesting. I just want to shout out to Oliver for becoming a member. Thank you so much, Oliver, for being a member. You absolute legend. What I really like is what James has done here. And guys in the chat, if you guys don't mind just doing a little typing, I like how he's put this out. So Shelvey, Navas, and Felipe and ASM. Get your yeses and no in there, and I'll bring up anyone who puts it on. The chat is going quite fast at the moment, so I will try and keep up.
We'll try and keep up.
Oh my, where are you? So yeah, that would be fantastic. So James is saying Shelvey no. He's saying no to Navas and a maybe to Felipe and a yes to ASM. How do you feel about Navas as?
I think if it's a loan till the end of the season and PSG are going to pay a majority of his wages or a portion of his wages, and I think it's going to be a fair portion, I'd take him. I would take him. I think we need cover. We can't, whatever the situation is when Hendo comes back, Hennessy's not a backup goalkeeper for the Premier League. He's not good enough. So whoever is first or second, and I still believe once Hendo's back in, he'll get back in on merit, maybe, you know. And I think the fans would. No one in this, unless Navas comes in and has absolute blinder and keeps like 3 clean sheets, no one's going to be arguing with them being switched out. So for me, it can work, especially on a loan deal and with PSG paying some of his wages. And I say they'll probably play the majority of it, because that's a hell of a big wage.
Just a little bit of news, sorry to interrupt you, on Shelvey, and a bit of breaking news for you guys, because where's that comment gone? Let me just find it. HWTL saying, how much is Shelvey costing? As a price, don't know yet, but it's not a loan deal. It's expected to be a permanent deal. Now, will that be a loan with an obligation to buy? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like it's going to be a perm deal. Guys in the chat, does that change your thoughts on anything in terms of if you want him or not? So it's going to be a poll. I put a poll up there. Let's have a look at it. Loads of you have voted. 76% are saying no to Shelvey. 24 are saying yes. I just want to kill off the Shelvey debate with a yes, no, and yes, no on Shelvey.
No.
As yes, no on Shelvey.
No from me.
It's a no from me as well. So let's see what you guys are doing. So let's see what you guys are saying. Well, you're shouting it out loud and clear in the votes. I'll leave that vote open a little while longer. I love this. Ollie's brought it up as well. Shelvey no, Felipe no, Navas 50-50. ASM absolutely not. He's awful.
Ollie, what are you talking about? Come on, explain yourself. ASM. No, he's not awful. Come on.
I've got words to say about ASM.
You got
Should we go there now?
All right, should we? We're jumping a bit, but screw it. We always jump around. Go on, Ant. What you got to say about him? James is saying no.
So you don't want me to speak on Navas then? I don't mind. It's okay.
I do want you to speak on Navas. Okay, let's finish Navas, then we'll jump on to ASM. There's loads to talk about. Let me just shout out a couple of these comments. N2 saying, no, I just want a goalkeeper and a centre-back. HWTL saying, good passing range, but no legs. We got some strong opinions here. David saying Shelvey is a complete no from him. I just want to shout out a few more. I want this to be a real interactive session with you guys. Please do hit that like button. There's like 200 of you in here. Don't forget to hit the like. We're on 69. We're hey on there. Matt saying Shelvey no. Navas only if Hendo is signing, but get rid of Hennessy in summer. Felipe's a no. ASM a big no. Even Newcastle fans I know don't rate him. And Angelo, I think he's talking about Gabriel there, is a yes. Tar is a yes as well. Let me shout out a couple more, then I'm going to come to Ant on his thoughts on Navas. Richard saying, I don't want him as he only plays well if you play to his ability.
Is that ASM we're talking about?
I think they're talking about ASM now. Tim is saying, I'd take ASM. We'll start an ASM poll in a minute once we finish talking on Navas. Nikki here is talking about experienced players, I think really relating to Felipe here, saying let's not write off experienced players. Thiago Silva and Casemiro run their teams. That's an interesting point. We will get on to Felipe as well. Niall is saying, I said it right?
Niall, yeah.
Niall Hussein is saying, who is ASM? Alan Saint-Maximin from Newcastle, aka Mr. Gucci. Richard's raising a good point. Thingy, what's the name? Shelvey is actually still coming back from an injury. That's what's puzzling me about this one. Sci-Fi saying, don't want to say no to Shelvey, as I said no to Wood, and look what happened there.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't that wrong.
Yeah, we'll blame you, Sci-Fi Monkey.
Poe saying Shelvey no, Felipe no, ASM yes, Navas maybe, Sar I think he means Tar absolutely yes, please. There's loads of comments. All right, we got to bring Ant in before he bursts. I'll keep the comments coming in. It's crazy amount of comments. And talk to us about Navas and where you are with Navas at the moment.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused, a bit conflicted about this one. If PSG are going to be paying the vast majority of his stupidly ridiculous salary, wages, fine, a tick. If he's coming in on loan, fine, a tick. If he's does a good job for us, fantastic. If he's prepared to sit on our bench as soon as Henderson's fit, okay. But he's got, I just wonder about his motivation. Why does he want to come and sit on our bench? Isn't the Paris Saint-Germain bench a bit cozier? I don't know, a bit more comfortable. Living in Paris, and all
they got leather seats as well, haven't they?
Yes, probably.
Yeah. So why should a guy of his experience and his age want to come and sit on our bench? And that's what I would want him to do as soon as Henderson's fit. To be honest, I don't care how well he plays. I want Henderson to be our goalkeeper.
So, let's say Cooper's having chats with him. I think Cooper would say to him, it's yours while he's injured. If you keep the shirt, you keep the shirt. I don't think he's going to try.
Yeah, and I'm a big one for that. I always say the club comes first. But if Endo spends the rest of the season on our bench, he ain't gonna be happy.
But if Hendo spends the rest of the season on our bench because Navas is having a
Yeah, I know.
stormer, I don't bloody mind, mate.
Yeah,
don't-
no, I
if
understand
Klopp
that. But
comes
what
first,
about
results come
at the end of the season when Navas goes to Saudi Arabia and Henderson tells us to fuck off because you've kept me on the bench for us?
Well, then we move on because we're not going to be held to ransom by anyone as much as
No,
no player.
that's not being held to ransom, is it? That's looking at a player's future. You don't want
Yeah,
to be
but
sitting
yeah,
out
but
on the bench.
if Dino turns around and says, "Oh, I'm not," I mean, okay, but then he's throwing his toys out of pram. I don't think. I mean, we know he can throw his toys out of pram.
Yeah,
Man, you know that very well. But
do you think a player of his quality who's at a club on loan should be satisfied to spend half of that season on the bench?
you know what we're talking about speculating. I think that's another speculation.
No,
To be honest,
that's why.
because-
No. What do you mean about his attitude?
Yeah, because I think
You've not seen Henderson's attitude.
no, but he's also a team player, and he's shown that this season as well. So.
Fair
At the
enough,
end of the day,
but I don't think he'll be happy to spend a half season on our
no,
bench.
but we're not saying
really
that's going to happen anyway. You know, we're
No,
kind of speculating.
and that's
that would
why I
happen.
said if Navas is prepared for that, and no problem.
But it should be on merit, regardless. You know, if Navas is playing well, he comes in and he's playing well, and he's keeping clean sheets, and he's making a difference. Then
But we all said that about Horvath, and that didn't last, did it?
yeah, but listen, I mean, Cooper played a masterstroke there because he kept Samba out for longer than he needed to, made his point, and then we got the best out of Samba. Those last 7 or 8 games of the season were the best I've ever seen Samba play for Forest. You know, so it worked. So whatever the tactic is psychologically, Cooper knows what he's doing, and I just think right now we need a better backup.
It's Costa Rican, isn't he? Navas, Costa Rican. So
Yeah.
we've got to hope that he gets called up by Costa Rica and gets back late so we can drop him.
Well, that's it. Maybe that'll be his tactic, waiting for him to go on international break, and then they'll drop him. But
He's playing.
my point is that he's a better backup than Hennessy.
Absolutely. I've got no problem with it.
So for that reason, and if
But is he coming as a backup? You know, that's still the overriding issue, isn't it?
I'd rather have Hendo and Navas fighting it out than Hendo and Hennessy fighting out, because there's no fight there. You know, Hennessy is no challenge to Hendo's position, and it'll bring the best out of him. I'm sure it will. Hendo's been fantastic this season. There's no doubt about it. He's had his dodgy spells. He had a little bit of a dodgy spell, didn't he? But I think you can equate that to how we were playing as well, because like Ant alluded to weeks ago that he didn't have players asking for the ball, so he's launching it long, and then it's going out of play, and it's not as people are having to go at his distribution, which
it was unfair, wasn't it?
Yeah, which just happened in that short spell of games, and the Leicester away game being one of those. But you know,
okay, just some quick breaking news. Are you ready? Joe John Shelvey has kindly graced us with his presence, and he will be joining us on the stream to tell us exactly what's happening with this transfer.
Okay.
Guys in the chat, please welcome Shelvey onto the stream. Hey!
JJ!
JJ, it's good to see you, buddy.
Boy, hey, man.
He's not even from there, bro.
He's not even from. Yeah, but he speaks the lingo now, doesn't he? I'm looking forward to joining you lot. I can't even do Newcastle.
Already.
Dino, good to see you, mate. Sorry, chat. If you got really excited, I mean, come on. We're joking around.
I'm sorry I disappoint you.
Well, you know, we got better.
No, you're a better timing.
They're happy. James is happy to see Dino.
We're happy with your
Slowly saying, yo, it's the real Shelvey. I mean, it could be anyone, couldn't he? I mean, how many players does he look like? Post saying, yo, John Joe Shelvey, I didn't realise you were actually here. We are the most watched Forest fan channel on YouTube. So, you know, you can expect us to get up and coming transfers live on the show, like Shelvey here in the bottom. How are you, Dino?
I'm good. How are you? You've been arguing, so I hear. I could hear you from like 3 streets away.
Yeah, there's been a few heated debates already, and we've barely started warming up.
What's going on?
You wait to get onto ASM.
What's going on today with the transfers?
It's crazy, mate. I've done 3 videos, and each of them have expired already. It's completely, it's just crazy, the pace of it. So,
Dean
What
Shelvey.
does the chat think to
Separated at
Shelvey
birth.
compared to O'Brien? I don't get that one.
God, do you know what? Would you say it again? Sorry, I was just
What
laughing
does the
at
chat
stuff.
think to Shelvey against O'Brien? I will do a medical for John Joe, and I will fail it, no problem.
Wait, who said that? Who said that?
You should
Yeah,
do
no,
it.
do you know
If
what?
Shelvey signs, you should do his medical.
Yeah.
You should go in and do his medical so we don't get him. So
I
it doesn't
did
cross the
chat
line.
jokingly. I did. Well, no, I was kind of serious. I did message Dino earlier and say, get your ass down to the Park Hospital and go there and just say you're here for your medical.
You're
I
here for your
guarantee
medical,
you they'll do. Oh, we should film that. That'll be a hell of a video. I'll get my suit on, Dino. I'll be your agent. Yeah, Ant can be the bodyguard. And
I'm going to have a
Ezzy
look in a
can-
minute if the lights are on at the ground, because I can see the ground from here. So I'm going to have a look in a minute, see if the lights are on. And if they
yeah.
are, I'm over there with the camera.
So,
It's on a
guys,
gimbal.
don't start talking about your
Gimbals.
deal, mate.
Don't start.
So,
You're a
guys,
gimbal.
we can see the city ground. So as soon as those floodlights go on, we can let you guys know. It's
Yeah.
easily done from
I'm gonna
Forest
look
Fan
now.
TV.
Literally,
Just
go and
one
have a
thing
look
before
now,
we jump
mate.
back into the debate. We
Whilst
got
he's doing that, I just want to finish
wait,
off.
wait, no, wait. We got over 200 of you in here, 225 currently, 79 likes. Guys, we've even
on, guys?
brought JJ Shelvey onto the show for you, yeah? Please hit that like button.
Not
By the
everybody's
time
leaving.
Shelvey returns to his seat, can we have...
The lights
well,
are
you gotta
off.
be
The
quick
lights
now.
are off.
The lights are off.
And
There
there's
you go.
nobody home.
Confirmation. Confirmation. So Shelvey's back. So let's carry on. And you were about to say something before I rudely interrupted you.
I was just about to say something very poignant here about the goalkeeper situation. I know times have changed a little bit and players have a little bit more power in that, but Brian Clough said to Pete Shilton, basically, you're my number one keeper. And if he missed any game or anything, regardless, you're my number one keeper. He was back in. Keepers are very different to the rest of the... You need a keeper to feel like he's the man. Because there's only one position for him. And that's what Clough used to do. When Shilton came back, Shilton went in. End of. Don't matter
But is
who
that
the
okay?
goalkeeper was.
Is that okay? Because if not that, I
Just when it suits my
dare-
argument, yeah.
Not that I would dare argue with, not you. I don't care about arguing with you, with the great man. Yeah, but could you, if you fast forward it into today's scenario, if Cooper took Hendo to one side and said, "Come what may, you are my number one. Navas or Livakovic or whoever comes in will always be second to you. Hennessy or Smith, etc." Do you not get complacency if that happens?
Well, there's two ways of looking at it. One is, I did say it was a long time ago, and I don't know if it'd work with modern day players. I did say
Fair
that.
enough. Fair
But
enough.
secondly, you imagine if you're of all the positions where you need to feel that your manager's got confidence in you and he will back you, goalkeeper is literally the number one.
Yeah.
So maybe it could work either way, couldn't it? Yeah, you're absolutely right. It could become complacent, but on the other hand, it might feel him that good and that big that it just builds him up and he becomes irresistible. Do you know what I mean? So it could work either way, I guess.
Chat,
Isn't
how
that
do
a
you feel
complaint?
about it? Would you like there to be a defined number one, or do you think it needs to be more of a if you're in form you play kind of thing? Let us know. Let us know.
Isn't that a complaint Hendo had about the false promises he was given by Solskjaer?
Yeah.
You know,
Evidently, yeah.
do we
No,
want Coops
he's
to do
been
the same
promised
thing
at
to him?
Forest that he would be our number one throughout his loan. We've got trouble coming.
Q Talk Sport. Q Talk
And,
Sport.
but end of the day, they're both loan players. They'll
Yeah.
both be loan players. If we do bring Navas in, you know, we don't own them, not yet.
No, but we kind of want to own one of them, don't we?
Yeah, we do. But we clearly do want to own that player because Forest wanted to get a loan deal with an option to buy. Manu wouldn't give him that. So that clearly shows Forest's intentions long term with Dino. But
Yeah.
obviously, it depends on whether we stay up or not. And then he's got a choice to make.
That's one thing that is not only for debate. We're staying up.
Of course we
Well,
are.
Phrase says, to be fair, Schultz was the best in the world at the time. So
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Without
It's a fair
gloves.
comment.
yeah. And then I love what Sai said here. He goes, Tar and Angelino end up with Felipe and Antonio. Can't believe I'm moaning about that. How times have changed.
Yeah.
Tar really does excite me. Before we move on to Tar and the others, Dino, I just quickly want your synopsis summary on Navas. How are you sitting on Navas right now? Well, not literally, but how are you feeling about
preferred,
Navas?
Don't start that again, mate.
I would have preferred Licky Vicky, to be honest, from Bulwell.
But do you get? I think Simon Jones has been battering down this point about Navas is the better option because it's a 6-month loan. It's a clear, defined number 2, which I don't really agree with what Simon Jones is saying there. But do you get that? Whereas Livakovic would come in, Dino, and he'd want a number 1 spot.
I've always said about Dino not being our player, and has just reiterated that. I don't know why we haven't gone hell for leather to get Dino as a permanent, to be honest.
He may have done if he'd not been injured.
Huh?
Yeah, I agree.
May have done if he'd not been injured.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't think we would have, to be fair.
I think we would have had the chat in January, certainly with Manu.
He's not far off, though, is he, coming back?
Well, early Feb, isn't it? About the 11th, he'll be coming back.
That's what we're saying.
11th.
Yeah. But
he'd probably miss one more league game, which are with the Leeds game.
Leeds, And then
so you're bringing Navas in for one game.
This is what's not making sense.
It's just a bit weird. You've got 2 on-loan goalkeepers.
What isn't making sense, because once you've heard that, and if that rumour or that's been leaked by the club, and it's true that Hendo's due back around the 11th, or only going to miss one. He was going to miss the second leg of FA Cup, of a League Cup anyway, and he's only going to miss the Leeds game. Then it kind of makes you think, why are they going ahead?
Yeah, that's why I said I was confused by it at the beginning.
Yeah, but at the same time, we'll all agree that every point is vital in the league, and maybe Cooper just does not want to take that risk.
And also, if we are, I mean, obviously, if he comes here and he's been told, look, we're bringing you in, we need you, but when our number 1 goalkeeper, and he's happy with that, then let's face it, for the rest of the season, he's a better number 2 than Hennessy. So if he's so I keep saying it's about him. I don't understand. If he's happy to come into Nottingham and sit on the bench, I have no problem with it.
But it doesn't make sense, as you keep saying. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but maybe he just wants to change the scenery.
That's what I'm saying.
What, Nottingham?
Maybe really likes Robin Hood.
Maybe that could be it.
Really likes Men in Black.
Listen. It's a bit weird, don't you think, that we've got 2 goalkeepers? Obviously, both kind of going to be promised first-team football, I would imagine. It's just not going to fit, is it? We'd have been better off taking Darlow as a second keeper.
Unless,
that makes more sense.
As I say, Navas is happy to come and sit on our bench.
Yeah.
And like I say, it doesn't make sense. That's what I keep saying. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
But
this window doesn't make sense.
Saying doesn't make sense.
And it not making sense doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
All right. What Brett's saying is that it's not true about Hendo coming back. And you kind of have to agree with him that if Navas is coming through, have the medical staff done their thing again.
Can I ask him what his source is for that, please?
Yeah,
probably he's just made up in his imagination.
Courses, mate. Yeah, just thrown it in.
Yeah. Where's that come from?
No, cut him some slack. Let him put the sauce in. If he's got a sauce, then that's fine.
Fair enough.
And Simon makes a good point. He goes, "I'd sit on a bench for 250k wherever it is." Yeah, but I agree with you. I'd sit on a bench for about 10k, but
okay.
Yeah, no less than 10k.
I'd sit on it for a free ticket.
You have them.
But at this level, like he's coming towards the end of his career, it is probably more important for him to be getting game time. I don't know why, but that's how they work. Yeah, and Darlow's gone to Hull, so that one's dead in the water. As Spacebar, our Newcastle
heard that.
Red representative says. Okay, I'm bored of Navas. I want to get on to ASM. Yeah, because especially as Spacebar's in here. Now, if I take Spacebar as the example, he came in here at the start, laughing, ASM, you'll never get ASM, da-da-da-da-da. And lately, he's been getting annoyed with us talking about ASM. His mood has changed ever since.
Nah, he's saying it's not happening.
They signed Gordon. So there he goes. Now he's trying to show himself all ballsy again. I want to start with Dino on this one, then I want to jump to Ant because I feel like Ant's got a lot to say and I want to build it up a little. And guys in the crowd, I'm going to put a poll on, do you want ASM? Not do you think we'll get him? Do you want him? Dino, thoughts on Mr. Gucci?
I love him. He's Pace is frightening. He had a good early season and he dropped off a bit, I think. But yeah, I like him a lot. But the dominoes are toppling now, aren't they? Gordon going.
Yeah.
So it's only, and I can't see anyone else in for him seriously from what I'm seeing.
AC Milan have pulled out. They want him in the summer, not now. They were the only other real threats. I've put the poll up. The yeses are flooding in. There's a few no's, probably from Spacebar and his Smurf accounts. Maybe
Spacebar and Matt D, I reckon.
Well, there is a few saying no. Yeah, Matt D's saying no. Yeah, we've got the ASM poll up, Caden. Let's get the votes in on there. What's Simon saying here? Agree, Simon J. Something to tick off. He's especially game time, but he's got history. Probably okay. So they're still talking about Navas there. Spacebar saying, I do know I've seen a Colback / Shelvey midfield in 2014. Oh God, no. Don't try and turn this topic around. And I'm about to unleash him. And
He's trolling us now, isn't he? He's trolling us, mate.
ASM, go.
Yeah, well, I'll address Spacebar soon. If Mr. Marinakis wants ASM, he will get him, mate. So get back in your box.
Yeah, back in your box.
All right. We're Nottingham Forest, and if we want to come for him, we'll come and take him. Okay? So stick that up your arm, right? So that's first one, pitching Villa. That's first one, right? ASM, I've watched him a lot.
Wait. We can't let that one go without a little. Well said.
Thank you. All right. I've watched him a lot over the last few years, and you can keep your bloody ASM, Mr. Spacebar, because he's an overrated show pony. I don't want us to spend out record amount on a player for a show pony, a player that I can watch quite comfortably beat 3 or 4 players, look absolutely fantastic, and then trip over his own laces or put the ball out for a throw-in. Not good enough. Not enough end product. There's a reason why no other fucker wants him. Okay, Mr. Spacebar? Nobody else wants him because he's crap. He's overrated. He can beat players, he's fast, he's powerful, but without end product, what's the point in going to bed with a woman with no end product? Okay? That's fine.
I can't believe you don't like him. You're going to make Spacebar block. He's going to unsubscribe now. Like, once you've insulted him and now you're insulting the quality of his players.
But there's no end product. Why do you think Newcastle let him go for 26 mil? Bloody hell.
He's a better version than Antonio, though, is he not?
Is what, sorry?
He's a better version than Antonio, though.
I would say, yeah. I'm not saying I don't listen. I'm not saying I hate him. He's a good player, of course he is, but he has no end product. He's
pace on the left, pace on the right.
Exactly. Look what Side's saying. Imagine that front line, though, Ant. Pace.
It's like watching Franzi Carr all over again. Beat 6 players and kick it out for a goalkeeper. You know,
and then give it to Wood. And then give it to Wood up front. What more would you want?
At the moment, 71% of the chat, like nearly 100 of you have voted already. 71% are saying yes. You could add the maybes in there. That's 12%. There's only 17%. Now, you got to take out Spacebar's votes, and there's a few other Newcastle fans in there. The majority of you seem to want him. Ez, where are you on ASM?
That doesn't surprise me.
Can we just get to Dave? Where is it? Gordon Mikulev. Franz Carr did that, but you still loved him. He was exactly the same sort of player. He was lightweight, Franz Carr. He was small.
I thought Franz Carr was overrated. He made Neil Webb's career, by the way, because Neil Webb used to just boot the ball out to the right-hand side and Franz would just go and pick it up. But he was so frustrating. And I'm sure that Newcastle fans will tell you they get frustrated with him. With ASM.
Do they? I think they love him. David says Eddie Howe will end up in a cargo box in the sea if he refuses.
And you've got to remember who we are. We're Forest. We just got promoted.
Exactly.
We've been out of the top league for 23 years. These players.
We don't need any show ponies.
Our profile.
We don't need show ponies.
I think you want like the top 11 players in the world. Just Marinakis, go and buy them.
No, not at all.
We've got to be realistic.
Not at all. That's unfair, Dino. That's unfair. Just because I don't like a player because he's got no end product, it doesn't mean I think
who would you have in that position and who would you go and buy?
He's not good enough for us. Who
would you go and buy instead?
I don't want to buy anybody out there. I want to centre back.
And don't you think he's better than a couple of players we've already got? Who else has been playing? Who's been? That's no argument. That's the whole point, isn't it? You bring in players that are better.
Not if he's taking up a space and his end product is not there. Look. we're allowed to disagree on.
Okay, let me give you an option then. Let me give you an
You're
option.
not going to convince me, so I won't convince
Okay,
you.
let
So.
me
Why
give
are
you
you being
option.
close-minded?
I know.
I'm not being
Let me give you-
close-minded. I've seen him for 3 years.
Okay, let me give you an option.
not my kind of player.
Let me give you an option. ASM or Lingard?
Well, they're not the same player, are they? For a start,
They've been
That's the
On the
question.
left.
That's a good
It's a
question.
similar
That's a
position.
very good question.
It's a
different
similar
type.
position.
That's who we've got in our
is
squad
not-
at the minute.
Lingard is not a pace merchant who works down one flank, is he?
ASM or a 1 year on the left.
And they're all telling you,
year.
come on, man. Caden's saying, and come on.
It's an upgrade, and that's
Listen,
what
the
we're trying to
fact of
say.
the
It's an
matter is-
upgrade.
For me, not for me.
I know, that's fine. That's your
A
opinion.
record buy for somebody that's going to give you no product. Not for me. It
How
looks
can you
pretty.
say he's
Been
going to give you
drinking,
no
Lingard's
product?
better.
Kieran's agreeing with you. He's saying, and he's massively overrated.
Okay. Let's be honest. The majority
Nobody
of
else wants him, by the way. Nobody else. I can't see Arsenal going in for him. Can you? Nobody.
you
else.
Hang
what,
on a
you-
minute.
you
There's
have
quite a
to
few
watch
saying
it.
a 1 year over ASM here.
I can't see Brentford going in for him. I can't see Everton going in. I can't see
They
anybody
can't
going in
afford
for
him. They can't afford him.
Oh,
Most of them
cobblers.
can't.
Chat,
But-
ASM or a 1 year. There's a few for a 1 year here. A 1 year every day of the week, a 1 year over ASM, Ollie
That's what I
and
said.
Matt.
Well, 1 year as a number 9, but not as a left winger.
No, but as he's been
Exactly.
playing him on the left.
You're the
Well, he
one
is a number
comparing
9,
him.
but
No, I'm sorry. I think Ez had. All right. Well, and also Ez and Tony have got the right idea here then. And Tony says ASM or Dennis.
Or Dennis.
ASM.
Thank you.
argument
Purely
over.
because Dennis is not doing it, is he?
But he's not.
If you'd have
beginning
asked
to
me,
we
sign.
knew-
if you'd have asked me before the season started, I would have said Dennis.
And are you
Now-
saying the same about ASM? He's not doing it.
He would do if he came to our club. He would get on the pitch.
See?
No.
Oh, you are the worst,
calm yourself before.
flip-floppers.
No. Before you jump to conclusions.
Why don't you just happy clap your way
No,
out
just
of here,
before
mate?
you jump to conclusions, the reason I say that is because ASM would play. Dennis is not even playing. That's why I'm saying it. Ask me at the beginning of the season, I would pick Dennis every time. But now Dennis ain't getting in our team. He's not in favour with.
And
Steve
when he has
Cooper.
played, has he done anything? He's done fuck all, mate. So
He's
it's
not
not
done
the
a
fact
lot.
that he's had no
He's not
game
done
time. I won't accept that Dennis has had no game time. He's had his
Just
chances.
pull up Simon Jones's
He hasn't
comment there.
taken
That's
any of
bang
them.
on.
You know you can do it.
Yeah. Do you know?
I don't know which one.
I can't because I'm in as a
You
guest
can't,
now. I'm
he's in
not.
as
I'm
a
not.
guest.
yeah,
Okay,
Oh,
all
he's
right,
just
I'll bring size up then.
He's guesting like me, mate.
All right, Sai says, imagine ASM on the left, Jono on the right, Owoni down the middle, Scarpa and Gibbs White pinging in balls over the top. Yeah, but where's he playing Scarpa and Gibbs White?
He's got like
We're
one
playing
holding
13 players
one holding
on.
midfielder, hasn't he?
Sai, how many players he got in there? But I do agree with him, and you can't say you don't like that.
Sorry, I wasn't paying
He's
attention.
dropped. Oh no, he's got Jono in there as well.
Scarpa sent in the centre midfield. I think that's probably what he means.
Yeah, it's probably got him in.
Can
Two
you not
in the-
picture
yeah,
that?
that
Anne?
doesn't
Can you
work
not?
for me.
Let me paint you this picture, right? You got, from our fit players currently, Danilo and Freuler as the two. I'm going into a 4-2-3-1 here. In fact, let me paint you a full picture. Chat, close your eyes. Imagine yourself at a nice warm beach right now, right? We're going to have Hendo in goal, or Navas. Lodi at left back. Niakate at left centre back. Tar right next to him at centre back. And then
Fine.
Aurier just to the right of him. Sitting in front of, I'm going to do my radio voice here as well. Danilo and Freuler. Yeah. And then ASM on the left. MG Dub in the middle. Scarpa / Jono on the right. And then I'll wake you all up by saying Wood up front.
All right, let me paint you this picture then. The ball comes out to Endo, to Aurier. He passes into Danilo. Danilo beats two men, puts it out wide to left. ASM beats three players, dribbles, gets to the byline, and then kicks it behind the goal.
Get a corner. I don't see, because I ruined it. Alistair saying ASM in, Cole Crap and Lingard out. I would literally agree with that.
Of course
I
you
would-
would. Because you
the
don't like
problem-
Lingard and Colback and you love ASM. No shock there.
It's an
I'm just
upgrade.
telling you
Dan.
how I feel.
That's what
I
we're trying to
really
get to. It's an upgrade on what we've got.
Yeah.
That's all we've got to keep doing, upgrading the positions every transfer window.
Yeah, but it's a club record transfer, and we need a centre back.
We do need. We've got a couple of centre backs potential.
Can I just thank Colin
Felipe
Robinson
as an
for
example.
becoming a member? Colin, you absolute legend. Thank you so much for becoming a member. If you guys want to become members, just hit that join button down below. We will be doing a live stream for the close of the window. That's going to be so much fun, a bit like what we did in the summer, where we'll get you through from probably like 8, 9 p.m. through to the close of the window. If you want that, make sure you've hit the like button so I know that's something you do want. And then we got a whole new players rating system for after the Manchester United game. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Okay. ASM discussion done. We got to start wrestling through these, right?
Hang on a sec.
What?
Don't get me wrong. If we get ASM in, because he's an exciting player. I'm not stupid. I'm going to deny that. He's an exciting player. And he gets 5 goals and 5 assists. I shall worship him. So don't think I'm afraid to flip-flop, because I ain't.
Can I just make one point?
Yes.
I don't think it's a Gucci headband. I think it's a Louis Vuitton headband. I don't think
Gucci, mate. It's Gucci.
No, I don't think you know your designers, mate. If it's a brown one you're talking about, it's bloody Louis Vuitton.
He's Gucci. He's even sponsored by them, I'm pretty sure. Spacebar, let us know what to expect from our new signing.
That's what to expect.
And Spacebar, speaking of the devil, says, I don't think he will leave this window because of the cup semi-final on Tuesday and Gordon is cup-tied. Like, you haven't played him when he's been back and fit, and you're suddenly so worried about this second leg against crappy Southampton, who scraped by against Blackpool today, and you're so like desperate for ASM to play it. You're grasping, mate. You're worried.
Yeah, but Anne touched on, however, what other clubs are after him. It's not that. I mean, if we're honest, the majority of Newcastle fans don't want to lose him, so that's saying something, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah. They were like, please, we'll pay you for it. Yeah.
Have you met Newcastle? Have you met? You know what they call Newcastle fans, don't you?
What?
I'm only kidding, mate. I love you, really, honestly.
All right. I want to move across to Felipe. I want to start talking about defense because, joking aside, we can have as much fun as we want and laugh. But I am still adamant about centre backs, at least 2 in my opinion. Right now I'll settle for 1, right? Bringing them in. So Jonathan Tah has been linked. That one basically gave me Chris Wood today. It really did. Yeah. The other one is Felipe, and that's more shrivelly for me.
That's giving me a Roy Keane, to be honest.
Oh my God.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, you just have to watch the high press.
The interview with Craig Ronfield. Yeah. Make sure you've watched that. Those of you, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
If you don't watch it.
Look, man, just because a player started today doesn't mean he's not coming, right? There's just... And the thing is, Forest have put a token offer in. It's like Navas, man. Navas was on the bench today for PSG. You're going to say, oh, he's not coming because he was on the bench.
Porro played last night.
Yeah, and he's going Spurs.
And he's going Spurs today. So
yeah, exactly.
It's unusual. It is unusual, but it can happen.
It can happen, especially if it's, deal, January transfer window, last-minute deals, last-minute offers. Yeah, it can happen. Because they might not have made the offer until a couple of days ago, and the manager's already decided who he's putting out, and regardless, he's going to put that team out. Unless he gets told by the chairman explicitly that you can't play that player, they'll play him. Why not? Why would they risk one of their players, not playing the best team? He's got to be sold anyway, so it's not going to be his problem after he's gone, is he? So, yeah, I think it happens more and more. I think players do play. It's only when it's ones that have been drawn out for a few weeks that you kind of see the player get taken out of a team. Because they're sulking and they don't want anything.
Or they go on strike,
Is Felipe alone or free, or what's the situation?
Felipe will probably be a buy, I would say, because he's got 6 months left on his contract.
Yeah.
I doubt they're going to loan him for 6 months. Well, that would be the whole Navas thing. If he costs us anything, he's literally going to cost us a bag of peanuts.
Yeah.
He's
Dino,
33 as well, so he's not a kid.
Yeah, Dino, where are you on Felipe? And I'm going to put.
Well, we've been lacking pace at centre back, haven't we? And he's not really got that much pace, but he does read the game well.
Obvious, but yes, I can agree with that, Dino.
Yeah, but he does read the game well, and he can get a goal from a corner, but he's solid. He is solid, He's a bit of a beast. It just. I think his best part of his game is reading the game, but that comes with that experience, doesn't it? Yeah. I think he's an upgrade on what we got. Is he the perfect one? Probably not. He's coming to the end of his career. He had 4 seasons at Atletico. He had 4 seasons maybe at Porto before that. But he's kind of not played much this season.
Quick question for Dino, because I haven't played him on FIFA recently. Is he left or right? Is he left or right-footed? I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you that.
Well, is he a right?
I've got a feeling he's left-footed.
Right. Does he play at right centre back?
I don't know. I think he plays. I
He
think
plays
he's
left side.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I think he's left-footed. You know.
He plays left
not
side.
sure.
So I'm not sure about footing.
That changes things, then, doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you right now what he is. He is right-footed.
Okay.
That's all right. Then, yeah.
But he's another Brazilian with a headband.
No, I've got. He prefers to play with his left foot. Yeah, hold on.
He's right-footed, mate. Trust me. I'm in the mood right now.
A headbanded Brazilian. Nothing wrong with those, mate.
If he's Brazilian, I want
sells
it.
to you.
Yeah.
There is a few pros and cons. While Dino's looking at it, him and Lodi have played many, many games together.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
He's coming into a Brazilian army right now with the amount of Brazilians we're bringing in. I mean,
Oliveira rather than Oliveira.
huh?
Put Oliveira rather than Oliveira.
Olive oil.
That's why he was left-footed. The other guy. We shouldn't get him.
Brazilian as well, yeah. But do you see the sense in it? The other comments I've been getting today about him is, don't forget about what Silva's done at Chelsea. He's like, what is he now? 38.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, quality. I mean, some of the best, and certainly in my lifetime, some of the best central defenders I've seen. I've played late into their 30s. I'm looking at likes of Baresi, Cannavaro, Maldini, players like that. They played late. John Terry, you know, and they were never. None of them were pacey.
John Terry was never fast, but if you got it up here,
none of those that I mentioned were pacey central defenders, were they? None of them.
And if you've got a pacey central defender at the side of you, like Newcastle, then that's okay.
Yeah,
you don't
I've
have
got no
to
problem with him coming. I think he's a decent signing. He's very experienced.
And I like that chemistry again. That FIFA Ultimate Team chemistry. I think it makes sense. It does. You know, another Brazilian in there. It will help with the other settling down. And someone's been playing FIFA anyway. It's probably Junior Marinakis, because he seems to be pulling the strings anyway.
And seeing this is another Atleti player, I could feel an Atleti shirt incoming.
All right. Well, let's just.
Palmeiras shirt going on eBay then.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, no, you got to buy a Santos one because we still got to talk about Gabriel. You know,
I might do.
Yeah, we need Weatherton.
Oh, you can't. You say that Palmeiras or Santos, mate. You can't do both.
You can't do both.
All right.
Mario won't ever speak to you again. He won't come on the channel again, mate, if you do that.
In that case, no Santos for me then.
Yeah. All right, Ez, if I asked you to pick between Jonathan Tah and Felipe, who are you going with?
I'm going with...
Now, just to help you, on FIFA, Tah's rated 82 and Felipe's rated 81, if my memory is correct.
Yeah, without those ratings, I know. For me, Tar, I think he's certainly younger than 33. I think he's 20.
He's 26.
26. I thought he was 28. So I'd definitely go for Tar, mate. I think he's solid. You know, he's got good height on him. He's good strength. And he's not pacey, but he's not slow. He's certainly faster than the ones with incumbent central defenders that we've got at the moment on that right side. So we need Niakate back, but we need to be looking at who we're going to pair him with. If he's going to be a mainstay, then we need to look at a right centre back to pair him with. And the only one that kind of fits the role at the moment is Body, but he's not a long-term solution. Is he 31? He's not a long-term solution.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's this ageism that's rife in this decision?
Yeah, I know. I'm contradicting myself because I said
some defenders gone to 35, no problem at all.
I know, but we're talking about the best, and I don't think Body's amongst there with the best of the best.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But if it was Thiago Silva and he was 30, then there's another 7 years on him.
Yeah, you got 7 years left out of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
there's a name from the blast from the past from Gordon there. Don't forget Nikola Jurkan. Was it Nikola
Oh, yeah,
Jurkan?
Jurkan.
yeah.
Yeah. Croatian.
Yeah.
Told you he's the one that came off because his hands were cold. Came off at half time.
Oh yeah.
Simon said
Tan,
Newcastle is
though,
going to
Tan's
be
a
the
beast,
biggest
though, isn't he?
anti-climax.
Larry Lloyd told me that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tar, you mean? Yeah, yeah, he is a beast.
Tar's a beast. Wolves are after Felipe as well. They fancy getting him as well.
Well, he's not Portuguese, so they're good
Say
luck.
that's I was going to say that's because they think he's Portuguese.
Yeah. Someone described Tar to me earlier. I can't remember who it was in the comments. Apologies, but it rang true in my mind. They said he was a pacey Wes Morgan. Would you agree with that, Dino?
Has he got that much pace?
A pacier Wes Morgan.
Pacier, well, that's not difficult, is it? But Wes Morgan could read the game brilliantly, and then he went on to, lift a Premier League title, so you can't really knock him.
Yeah.
I think he's a better bet than Felipe, to be honest.
But do you think at the moment I'm getting a little pissed off with the recruitment strategy. It's feeling haphazard to me over this last 48 hours, where it's almost like they've gone on Champ Man and put like contract expiring, and then gone through and thought, I'll put a bid on him, bid on him, bid on him.
Sit there all year twiddling the thumbs, and then the transfer window opens and go party, and they go absolutely mental, and they're just like after everybody, and whatever sticks. That's how it feels to me. Especially today. Today's really ramped up today.
Crazy.
Like things out of the blue today. Normally there's been slow burners coming along. Yeah. People linked and then disappear and then linked again. But this one's been mental today. I would expect right up to the transfer window for it to be absolutely crazy, to be honest. And it wouldn't surprise me if they pull one out of the fire that we didn't even hear about.
Yeah. But it probably reflects on what you touched on earlier, about the dominoes falling,
Yeah.
And that's what triggers more.
But that's for that. That's for ASM, isn't it? But the downside
Not
is
just
with that
ASM,
is yet another
in
attacking midfielder. And I agree 100% with Ant that we need a central defender or even two.
Agreed. But maybe there's some dominoes falling elsewhere to allow these players to become available, or at least our interest to become public with some of them. But
Floppy seconds, though, dominoes smell of a bit to me.
Well, 2 days to go. It's going to heat up now, if anything, So I wouldn't be surprised if you'll see a few more left field signings. I don't mean playing on the left side. I mean out of left field. But that might just happen.
Just to clarify.
Both might happen.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair as well, I always say, for a start, I mentioned that a lot of this is speculation without a great deal of foundation. And also, it's not unusual. I've always found it stupid. It's like people that are trying to kill vampires always get there just as the sun's going down when they've had all day to get there. I compare it with that in the transfer market. You think, why have they left it to the last minute? They've had all month. But you actually don't know. You don't
Best
know what
analogy I've ever heard for transfer window.
That's what 179 from Keza. Thank you so much, buddy.
I'm just going to check if the lights are on at the City Ground.
Ez is his boy.
Oh, bless him.
Checking if the lights are on at the City Ground.
Go check if the lights are on. And I want to move the conversation forward now.
Let me just finish that point because you interrupted me again.
Sorry.
Again.
Well, no, Kieran interrupted you.
Right, Kieran did. That's okay.
Let me interrupt you again because N2 says, please remember, Ant,
hey?
Vampires aren't real.
Of course they are. Don't be an idiot. And I always say, why the left to the last minute? But often these deals have been talked about for a number of days or weeks, just so it's not got out into the public domain. So it's not always that last minute. Sometimes it is, of course, but it's not always that last minute panic buy. They've actually been working on it, and a lot of clubs won't let those players go to the last minute because they're trying to obviously get the best deal.
Get the dominoes in place. That's what it is. I'm telling you.
It can be the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably need to explain why I keep getting up to see if the lights on at the City Ground. Because people think I'm really odd.
Explain.
People know I'm really odd anyway, but when the lights are on at the City Ground, like in the evening, it normally means there's a sign-in.
Yeah, unless if
it's not a U21 game.
Unless it's 21.
Who are you expecting? Because Navas was on the bench, mate. So how do you think he's got here that quick?
Say again.
Who are you expecting? Because Navas is on the bench at PSG.
You know what? I expected anybody today. I'll be looking tomorrow because it's all going to kick off tomorrow.
It could be Joe.
And we'll try and get down there on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're going to get down there on Tuesday.
We'll have a reporter on the ground. One of us.
Yeah, so guys, just a little thing, right? We will be having potentially some reporters live cutting to them. Don't know how we're going to do it yet, but you will not want to miss the final few hours of the transfer window on FFTV. We're going to have all the shit going on right here. We really
Dino,
are.
show him your mic. Show him your mic.
Never mind the mic. Show him the yellow tie.
Yellow tie and the mic, yeah.
Shit, I didn't get my yellow tie.
You got the yellow tie.
Got the mic. We've got the outside broadcast mic ready.
Yep. It's ready.
Wait, have you got a yellow tie or not?
Have you actually got one?
Oh my God, he hasn't got the yellow tie,
have to
guys.
send them
Quick,
out
someone
tomorrow.
donate
Trip to
£5
Asda
to Dino.
tomorrow to George.
Yeah, someone
They've got
donate
one.
£5 to Dino. We need the yellow tie, otherwise the show can't happen.
And it better not have Pudsey on it. Just a proper yellow tie, mate, yeah?
I don't know what you've started, Anne. Richard's saying here, if vampires cannot see themselves in a mirror, how come Dracula has a perfect centre parting?
He's been listening to Carl Pilkington, I'm sure he has. If he gets the reference, he'll know what I mean.
Yeah. He gets one of his sexy female vampires to do it for him.
Yeah.
Not many things are sexy.
We're not going down this road. We're not going down this road. We're going to go forward into talking
Vampire
about
grooming. There's a whole stream in that, mate. I'm telling you. Vampire grooming.
Anyway, forwards. I want to go Brazilian again, and I want to talk about
The art of the
Gabriel.
vampire has been sucking us dry for years.
forwards. Brazilians.
Yeah, give him a round of
Gabriel.
applause.
Gabriel. Guys, I'm sorry. This stream's going
We'll
to
try
shit.
that.
So if you would
That'd be
like to
really
leave
funny if we
now,
could do
we
that.
will not hold it against you.
Exit of it.
This is what the public want.
Exits
So-
of it and
Should we do a vote? Who should we get rid of first?
Oh
Ez,
no! All right,
Anne, or Dino?
I'm on my
last
way.
one in, first one out. It's always last one in, first one out.
If you want us to cut Ez, from the FFTV team, just spam some emojis. If you want Ant gone, put the Ant emojis in. If you want Dino gone, put the Dino
I've got
emojis
emoji.
in.
Just put like an egg or anything. Anything.
God. I'm having a Brazilian space bar. I really am. It's just...
Get rid of Ant, cut Ant. Oh, mind you, it's the same person.
Oh, Stoney wants Ant out.
Stoney
Oh,
really wanted Stoney really doesn't want that.
Richard says no. The
Can't
worse
blame
the
him.
stream is, the better it
better it
is.
gets,
That
yeah.
really worries me. That really
Yeah,
worries
no,
me.
it works.
Simon's saying it's like choosing from your favorite child.
I must have made it because I've got my own hater.
Wait. Josh wants Dino out.
But at least he's made an effort. At least he's made an effort with the
Hey for
emoji.
effort, Josh. Well done, mate.
Stun says, sorry, I had to throw someone under the bus. Oh, Caden wants you out as well. And
God.
this is
Let's-
his ego's gonna get smaller and smaller.
I
All right.
have no ego. I'm easy to go. I don't mind going.
All right. Anyway, well, you've had other. Anyway, Brazilians. Gabriel. We'll come to Ant. On this one first, right? How are you feeling about us invading Santos now that we've invaded Palmeiras? What is Dino doing?
Is that his attempt at a yellow tie? It looks
I'll
like a
have to
ribbon,
do.
mate.
That's all we've got so far.
Looks good.
Wait, Dino, can you put it on like a scarper headband?
Put it on as a whole set of hair, mate.
I'll give you
Oh, guys,
Oh,
just
I look like Bjorn Borg for a second.
Dave end the stream. Seriously,
Dave
as
in the stream.
expressions there.
Oh, my end of stream.
And Brazilians,
Love him.
Gabriel.
Love him. Don't know who he is, but love him.
So just because he's Brazilian, he's flary and young. That's
Yeah.
you sold on him, yeah?
Yep, that's me. No, I
me.
don't know. I don't know anything about the kid. I mean, he's only 18. He's only played relatively few games, hasn't he? And
He's played 100 games.
he's very highly. Sorry.
At 18, he's played 100 competitive games.
played
Yeah,
since
sorry.
he
Yeah,
was
hasn't
16,
he?
hasn't
Actually,
he,
you're
for
right. No, his goals he's not got many of. Sorry, he's got 3 goals. Yeah, 3 goals in
Yeah,
97 games. Not what I call prolific myself. But he's highly rated, so I'll have to go on the expertise of others because I don't know anything about him.
And he's
I'm
a
sorry,
winger.
Richard. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's time for you to go to sleep, Richard. Seriously. No, we can't be having that, Richard.
Something wrong with
No,
Rich,
I
mate.
always knew Richard was very intelligent. I could tell by his name.
Rich, instead of nodding, give your head a wobble, mate. What are you talking about? I'm joking, Richard. I love having you
It's
here, mate.
look, there's a lot to be said about him, yeah. But this one isn't a Danilo. Yeah, I just want to set the chat's expectation on this. It's not a Danilo coming in. It's not a Scarpini coming in. Yeah. This guy has had the old wonder kid tag slapped to him just because he's Brazilian and he's young.
He's a new Neymar, isn't he?
New Neymar, all that kind of crap
Yeah.
chucked in his way. But Ant does make a good point. He's played 70 odd games or whatever it is, 3 goals and like 2 assists or 1 assist in the Brazilian league. Dino, is this one going to be a bit more of a long-term investment rather than one that's just going to be chucked straight into the team and we're going to expect him? Maybe a bit like the Brandon Aguilera type of deal.
Yeah. Christina Aguilera was a bit of
Yeah.
a long-term one, wasn't she? Yeah, no, it's nothing we need to get excited about right now. I don't think it's not a Danilo, is it? I mean, 18 to 21 is quite a long time in football terms. So no, I wouldn't spend too much time talking about him at the minute. It's one for the future potentially. Yeah. We're just going to breed Brazilians, aren't we? That's what we're going to do.
That's where our link is at the moment. We must have scouts out there.
I don't mind.
I mean, Cooper needs to be careful. He probably needs, you put these players on English courses when they come. Cooper might need to actually go on a Portuguese course.
Yeah. Wouldn't hurt, would it?
I just love that.
Or get Mario over to be the interpreter. We could get Mario a job. Good.
We certainly could, yeah, keep him involved. But we'll certainly keep him busy because I think, was he one that, because we asked about players from opposition teams when we last had him on. Did he mention?
No.
No, he was trying to warn us off Weatherton, their goalkeeper. That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Who's there?
I mean, the other thing as well, if you look what Richard's saying here, Ant's boy. Ant, can you stop pressing buttons? Seriously. I will take your power away from you.
Take his privileges off him, man.
Yeah. That Anthony meant, can you stop pressing buttons, man?
Who?
Okay, Richard agrees with Ant, right? Okay, congratulations, Richard. We need to ban Richard. Is any Richard seems to agree with Ant?
No, he said as well, so somebody else must have done.
Yeah, the other Richard. This Richard, you've already forgotten about.
Yeah, Richard and the walking boom, Richard.
Yeah. Anyway, your other Richard fanboy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to point this your way, right?
You love your dicks, don't you, mate?
All right, this is falling into fucking chaos, man. It really is. And
it's falling. It's from chaos.
What do you expect? I woke up and like 10 minutes later, I'm dragged on here. What do you expect from me?
True.
You should check your schedule more often. And Richard, your other fanboy, says that Anthony at Man U is Brazilian and he's naff. So we should be careful not to buy players just because they're Brazilian. I'm pointing this at you because one, Richard is your fanboy, and secondly, you're a Brazilian fanboy. Do you agree with what Richard is saying?
And your name's Anthony.
100%. I was being facetious when I said he's Brazilian and young. Let's have him. I didn't actually mean that in seriousness.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. Just not in this way.
No, I didn't. There are many, many crap Brazilians. Trust me.
Okay. I'm going to call it there. This has just gone into... Have we covered everyone?
Yeah, I think so. Tar, Felipe.
Keeper. Oh, no, we got one more. We got one more. Sorry, we got one more.
Who thrown in?
Antonio. I've got to ask the chat this one. We can't end it without this crap, right? Antonio. Where are you, Antonio? And guys in the chat, I really want to hear your thoughts on this.
No, for me. I think you asked me a couple of weeks ago, and you asked me before the transfer window. Before, I think when we came back from the international break. And I was kind of like toying with the idea then, but no, not for me. Not for me.
Is he past it?
I think he is now. You'll prove me wrong on the weekend or whenever he next plays, but I think he is. I think he's not going to make the impact that we need right now, and I think there's better players that we've already got or we can bring in. So not for me.
Dino?
He'd probably have the same impact as Lingard. 0.
that much.
They don't. West
And he's
Ham fans
injury
have turned
prone.
on him.
Injury prone as well, yeah.
The thing is, when you're 33 and you're a defender, it's a bit different. When you're 33 and you're a speed merchant, look at Michael Owen. When he slowed down, he wasn't half the player, was he?
No.
Remember Michael Owen, Wolverine? You're 21, aren't you? So probably not.
I've seen some YouTube highlight reels of him. Yeah. There's a lot of no's.
Some
in there.
videotapes.
78 of the votes have come in saying no. And why do I feel you're going to say yes?
No, I'm not. I'm going to say absolutely not.
Something
No.
along
His injury ravage, his slowdown is nowhere near the player he used to be. And as Dino quite rightly points out, once an explosive player loses that explosive ability, there's not necessarily a great deal left. So no for me.
Yeah, Owen's making the exact same point. Antonio's lost a lot of his pace and his touch in front of goal. There's better out there, so we'll say no. I mean, this is what's worrying me about this transfer window is these links. Richard the Walking Boom saying big yes. For those of you saying yes, why yes? I'll play devil's advocate because I've read loads of the comments today. People are likening him to doing a Keenan Davis style job. Now, I love Keenan Davis, but if I hear more players likened to Keenan Davis and the job he did last season, I'm going to lose my shit because that was last season.
Bamford 17. Yeah, I think he was, but didn't he go to Arsenal first before he went to Chelsea? Bamford.
No, I went straight to Chelsea. We saw him.
Did he go straight to Chelsea? Like $1 million, wasn't it? Or undisclosed, I think.
Well,
He
it was
young,
a vital deal at the time. I think
He was scoring loads in the U21s, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, it was definitely. But it kept us up or did something for us financial fair play.
Yeah, he did something for us financially.
It was a crucial sale. 7 million, wasn't it, in the end? 7
Was
million.
it in the end?
Yeah,
I thought the initial agreed fee was around
7
1
million. So
million.
it had a huge impact.
Nice.
We didn't want to sell him because he had so much. Like you said, in the youth team, he was banging goals in for fun, wasn't he? And quality goals as well. So yeah,
Quality.
Tim, if this is a great stream, mate, then message me after. I'll show you some good YouTubers that you could watch.
I'm still a bit baffled by Wood, you know. I really am. It's taken me a while. You know when you get a transfer in.
It was 2 weeks
No,
ago.
no. The player Wood.
He just-
No. Right. I know it's off topic, but I'm just thinking every day, thinking, why? I don't understand it.
It's just the fact you said you're baffled by Wood. I don't know what's funnier. It's like,
I just don't get it. There's
What
some
did
great
he
names
get?
coming up in the chat. Chris Smalling and
I
Yeah,
don't mind
no-
Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling wants out. I know again he's old and crap, but I kind of like him. And that's a
we've
lot
not
for me to
talked
say
about
about a
Spence,
ex-Man U player.
I'm not sold on him.
No?
No,
And
and he's got a squeaky voice.
He has
as
been
well.
he has been a revelation at Roma.
but he's
has been
fallen out with
revelation.
Mourinho now.
But yeah, but I know that he's not playing at the moment, is he? See, I'm not like you lot. I don't get obsessed with this age thing. I'm not looking for somebody to be here for 10 years. If they're good enough now and they can keep us up, then that's all I'm bothered about. And if and he's a good player, or he was a good player. Again, I'm going to be upfront. I don't watch Italian football, so I can only go on things I read. And from what I read up until this season, he was playing really well.
Yeah.
So if he's still playing well, then it'd be a good signing.
Just to point out
that
that Mark, no one said he's linked. Someone in the chat asked about Smalling. We're just
No,
we're just
he's not
answering.
He's about as tall as Bolly as well, isn't he? He's a big lad.
imagine if it was linked
6'6",
tomorrow and
6'7".
Cooper was watching this and thought, Smalling.
yeah,
I'll have a bit
that's
of
how it
that.
happens sometimes.
I'm sure they're watching. But shout out to all these Forest people.
Big
as
shout out
well.
to Visual Joker as well for his full month as a member. We do appreciate you here, bro. Thank you so
Big
much.
shout
for
out
all
to
your
Cooper as
support.
well. We know you're watching.
We know you're watching, guys. So shout out
Coops,
to you guys.
Coops, Tar,
Coops,
Jonathan Tar,
Marinakis Jr. Shout out to you, mate. And anyone else?
the other YouTubers
LaCroix,
that claim they don't
Coops,
watch us
LaCroix.
but do watch
Yeah, yeah.
us. Shout out to you guys
Shout out
as
to the
well.
players. Shout out to MG
and-
Dub. You Reds.
MG
thanks
Dub
for
as
MG,
well, yeah. Also, the other thing I'll say is Cooper, if you're watching, Jonathan Tar. If you need more details on him, Ez will happily fire up FIFA 4 in front of you. He'll talk you through his paces. It will all be fine.
I'm gonna have a look at him. I'm not even joking. I'm gonna have a look at him.
Oh my God, man. All right. That is it. We are done. Right,
Stream
guys.
over. End the stream.
Thank you so much for watching. Ez is about to fire up FIFA. God only knows where this would end up. I'm sorry. It's been a mess of a stream, but we've got through it somehow in the
I
end.
agree with that.
Please hit the like button. Well, if you are crazy enough to have enjoyed any part of this stream, please do hit that like button. We'll be back tomorrow with more sense. And on Tuesday, we will have the closing stages of the transfer window. That will be done professionally, he says.
Why are we not on?
What?
Are we not on tomorrow?
I'm ditching you lot. Simon, Wednesday.
You were on
Tuesday.
about.
Getting me off here.
Isn't it TLR tomorrow?
We'll find out. But in
out.
terms of finishing off, can I just have a massive shout out to Visual Joker for 449. Hey guys, I missed a bit of the stream. What's your thoughts about Shelvey and Felipe coming to Forest? Visual Joker, I love you, bro. But you are literally going to make me rip my head off if I have to ask these guys about those players again. Give it a rewind. We covered it all off in the start. I'm sorry, man, but these guys will kill me if I do that. Well, I'll kill them, should I say?
Yeah. Or if you want, leave us a question and it's the first question we'll answer on our next show. So if you want to do that, we'll kind of make it.
Oh my, good to have you. I'm so late. That sounds like the
end the stream
test came back positive, did it? And on that note, guys, we'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you and apologies. Come on, you Reds.
Bye, guys.
You Reds.
Bye, guys.